Good morning, my dear students. Today we are going to learn so, DQ and priority queues, last concepts in the second unit. So before going to discuss DQs and priority queues, DQs means double-ended queues, priority queues. Two small topics. Okay, all of you, before going to discuss DQs and priority queues, so we want to revise circular queues. Circular queues. Simply, we know what is queue. Queue is a linear data structure. Am I right or not? Queue is also a linear data structure. So in the queue operations, we can insert an element at a rear end. We can delete an element from the front end. I mean, queue has two ends. Queue have two ends. The first one is front end and the second one is rear end. Am I right or not? So here insert operations done at rear position, then delete operations done from front position. Okay, ma? Here queue have two ends. Whereas stack has only one end, that is called top end. Insert and delete elements. Insert and delete operations done at only one end in the stack, that is called top of the stack. Am I right or not? Whereas in queue, insert elements into rear, so delete elements from front. Clear? There are two ends in the queue. So here also then there are two operations. The first one is NQ, the second one is DQ. Is empty, is full, common. Am I right or not? So NQ operation is used to insert element into the queue. DQ operation is used to delete an element from the queue. Clear, all of you? So this is the front. Initially set to front equal to rear equal to -1. First element is inserted, front move from -1 to 0. Then rear is also incremented 1 by 1. Rear is also incremented 1 by 1. Then where is the rear? In fourth position. Am I right? Then this is the operations on a queue. So this is insert operations. This is an algorithm for inserting a value into the queue. This is an algorithm for deleting a value from the queue. This is an algorithm for display all elements from the queue. This is circular queue. This is circular queue. In a normal queue data structures, in a normal queue data structure, we can insert elements until queue becomes full. Am I right or not? Yes. But once the queue becomes full, we cannot insert the next element until all the elements are deleted from the queue. For example, consider the queue below. So this is front, this is rear, then there is no empty block in the queue. So where the queue is full, front equal, rear equal to max size is -1, max size -1, then that is equal to full. Queue is full. Clear? So come here. In this example, I removed 3 elements from front. First element, second element, third element. But queue is an empty. Yes or no? How many blocks are there? 3 blocks are there. So, but according to our queue operations, when rear got max size -1, then queue is full. Is it possible to insert element in these blocks? No, according to queue formula. Clear? But we want to overcome this problem. Go to circular queue. Yes, this situation is also says that queue is full and we cannot insert the new element because rear is still at the last position. That's why then there is no possible to insert an element according to queue formula. In the above situation, even though we have empty positions in the queue, we cannot make use of them to insert the new element. This is the major problem in a normal queue data structure. To overcome this problem, we use a circular queue data structure. So what is circular queue? Circular queue is also a Q data, linear data structure, in which the operations are performed based on FIFO principle, first in, first out principle. Last position is connected back to the first position to make a circle. Clear? So this is last connected, the last rare position is connected to the, which is the empty block that is connected to the circle. This is the graphical representation of circular Q, circular. So implementation of circular Q, we know, first of all, we want to define header files. So what are the functions are available in the program? Those we should define. And next one is the array declaration. Next one is set one -1 to front and rear positions. And what are the methods available in the program? Those methods we should define, like main function, etc. So this is the insert operation in a circular Q. Check whether Q is full, rear equal to size -1 and front equal to 0. Then Q is full. Otherwise, or front equal to rear plus 1, or front equal to rear plus 1, then the Q is full. Otherwise, rear equal to size -1, rear equal to size -1, and front not equal to 0. If it is true, then rear equal to -1. Front is, rear is already full. Yes, but front not equal to 0, because 3 blocks are there where front equal to 3, not equal to 0. Then rear equal to -1. Rear equal to -1. The rear position will change. -1 means the rear come first. Then read a value, the value assigned into rear position. Clear? Yes. Then this is the DQ operation. If front equal to -1 and rear equal to -1, then the circular Q is empty. Otherwise, front equal to size, then front equal to 0. Then check whether the front, both front -1 and rear are equal. Yes or no? Front -1 equal to rear. If it is true, then both set front and rear equal to -1. Otherwise, delete the element. This is a display method to display all elements from the. Yes, yesterday we discussed till. Then today I want to show one animation. I want to show one. This is circular Q diagram. All of you see. So please concentrate. This is circular Q. So many elements, max size equal to 10, n minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, etc. Q is empty, front equal to rear equal to -1. Am I right or not? Q is empty, front equal to rear equal to -1. Clear, all of you? So then, so Q is empty, then front equal to rear equal to -1. Initial values, front equal to rear equal to -1. So next one is, all of you, addition of 12 to Q. Addition means NQ. Insert an element 12 into Q. Then front and rear would point to 12. Am I right? Here in first position, front equal to rear equal to -1. Then I want to insert an element 12 into Q. Then front equal to front plus 1. Then rear is also rear plus 1. -1 plus 1 is 0 front, and rear is also 0. The element is 12. Clear? All of you. Next one is, these are the front and rear. Again, I want to insert an element into the Q. Rear would point to 17. So front is constant. So don't move front. Again, I want to insert an element 17. So then rear equal to rear plus 1. Then move to position, rear position equal to 17. So insert rear equal to rear plus 1, 0 plus 1, 1. So array of rear equal to 17. That means array of rear equal to 17. Clear? Next one is, I want to insert another element 25. So here also rare equal to rare plus 1, array of rare equal to 25. Clear? Next one is I want to insert another element 11. So rare equal to 3. Next I want to add 30. Insert an element 30, rare equal to 4. So listen, I want to delete an element 12 from the queue. Which is the front element? 12. Is it possible to remove 25? No. Is it possible to remove this one? No. So here also, why? It is a linear data structure. Stack, queue, circular queue, DQ, these are all the linear data structures. We can insert and delete elements in a linear order. Clear? That's why I want to remove an element, which is the front element 12. So then your front element 12 is deleted, then front move from 0 to 1 position. Clear? So 12 is removed from this queue, circular queue. Then the front move from 0 to 1 position. Then front equal to 17. See all of you. Front move from 0 to 17. So again delete 17. Then 17 is deleted. Then okay, add 20. Okay, ma, add 20. So into the queue, insert 20 element into the queue. So then where is previous rare here? Then the next one. So rare equal to rare plus 1, that is 5. Rare of array of 5 equal to 20. Clear? Yes. This is the rare position. Again I want to insert. 14 inserted. Rare is incremented. Then 19 is inserted. Rare is incremented. 20 is inserted. Next element 24 is inserted. Rare is incremented. Next one is 16 is inserted. All of you. 16 is inserted. Rare is also incremented. Am I right? Rare is also incremented. Clear? Rare is also incremented. Now I want to insert an element. According to the queue, queue is full, but circular queue. So listen all of you. If rare equal to max minus 1, yes. Yes or no? Yes. Then front equal to 0? No. So then rare equal to minus 1. Rare equal to minus 1. Clear? Then add another element. So then increment the rare value. Rare equal to minus 1, increment the rare value, minus 1 plus 1 equal to 0. Array of rare equal to insert given element. So see all of you. So again, add insert an element 21 into the queue. So rare equal to rare equal to 0. Clear all of you? Yes. How it changed? So if rare equal to max minus 1 and front not equal to 0, if rare equal to minus 1. Clear? So then, so insert an element 21 into Q, then is it possible? Yes. So this type of operations done in circular queue only. In ordinary queue, it will not allow all of you. So this is the circular queue operation. Clear? This is the circular queue operation. Then where is rare? Where is front? Then queue, circular queue is an empty. One more block is there. Clear? One more block is there. Again, see all of you. Again, I repeat the same concept. See all of you. Removing elements. Rear is incremented. Rear is incremented. Rear position equal to max size minus 1. Then I want to insert an element 21. Rear equal to 0 position. So this is possibility. This is possibility in circular queue data structures. Clear? Yes. Okay, all of you. Then DQ operation, inserting Q. So here, front equal to -1 and rear equal to -1. Then Q is an empty. Then insert an element possibility. Front equal to size. If it is true, then set to front equal to 0. Then check whether the both front -1 and rear are equal. Front -1 equal to rear. If it is true, then both set front and rear equal to -1. Clear? This is DQ. Okay, delete Q. Next concept is double-ended queues data structures. Double-ended queue data structures. We know queue and circular queues. Queue insert operations at rear end, delete operations at from front end. Am I right or not? Then here also circular queue is also same. In queue and circular queue having two ends, front and rear ends. Insert operations done at rear end, delete operations done from front end. Whereas in double-ended queue, the name implies double-ended queue, two ends, double-ended. So insert and remove elements possibilities in front end and also rear end. So insert operation and delete operations done in front and also rear end. That's why this is called double-ended DQ data structure. Double-ended queue data structure. Clear? Double-ended queue data structure. So then see the diagram, all of you. So insert and delete. We can insert an element from the into front and also delete an element from front. So come here, rear side. So we can also insert an element into the rear and also delete from rear. So how many ends here? Two ends. Here how many ends? Two ends. How many ends? Two ends. How many ends? Two ends. Clear? All of you? Then this type of queues are called double-ended queue data structures. This type of queues are called double-ended queue data structures. Double-ended queue data structure is also a queue data structure in which the insertion and deletion operations are performed at both ends, front and rear. Clear? Front and rear. That means we can insert at both front and rear positions and can delete from both front and rear positions. Okay? Insert to front and rear. Then delete front and rear positions. Done. Clear? Then double-ended queue can be represented in two ways. Those are as follows. One is for input restricted double-ended queue and second one is output restricted double-ended queue. We can represent the double-ended queues in two ways. The first one is input restricted double-ended queue and the second one is output restricted double-ended queue. So first one, input restricted double-ended queue. So in the input restricted double-ended queue, so in input restricted double-ended queue, the insertion operation is performed at only one end and delete operation performed at both ends. So here restricted insertion, but not restricted for delete. Here input restricted double-ended queue. So insert operation is done at only one end, then the remaining end restricted. But delete operations done from both ends. Clear? This is called input restricted double-ended queue. So only input restricted means only one end is allowed to insert an element, but both ends allowed to remove an element from the double-ended queue. Clear? That is called input restricted. So this is an example. So here this is front. So I want to insert an element from front side, but I want to insert an element from rear side, then there is no possibility. Why? This is restricted, input restricted, but delete an element from front side, delete an element from rear side. Clear? It is allowed. Delete is allowed, but insert is restricted only one end. That is called input restricted double end. Clear? Then the next one is output restricted double-ended queue, opposite of input restricted. You know very well. So guess it. So then here input, inserting elements allowed both sides, but deleting an element allowed only one side. Then the remaining side is restricted. That's why this is called output restricted double-ended queue. Clear? Output restricted double-ended queue. Insert elements, both sides, both ends are allowed, but delete element, only one end is allowed, but the another end is restricted. That's why this is called output restricted double-ended queue. Clear? So this is double-ended queue. What is double-ended queue? So this is also linear data structure. This is also same as queue, but so here insert and delete elements done at both ends. Clear? Insert and delete elements done at both ends, means front end and rear end. Front end allows to insert an element and also remove an element from the double-ended queue. Then rear end is also allows insert an element into the double-ended queue and delete an element from the double-ended queue from rear end. So both operations allowed here, both sides. Clear? So then that is called double-ended queue. Then here, then there are two operations. The first one is so input restricted double-ended queue, and the second one is output restricted double-ended queue. In the input restricted double-ended queue, the insert operation is performed at only one end and delete operation is performed at both ends. That is called input restricted double-ended queue. In the output restricted double-ended queue, the delete operation is performed at only one end and insert operation is performed at both ends. That is called output restricted double-ended queue. So this is DQ. What is DQ? So write and explain DQ, 4-5 marks question. Clear? Then the last one is the priority queues. Priority queues. Priority queues is an extension of the queue. It is also an extension of the queue data structure where each element has a particular priority associated with it. So each and every element has a particular priority. It is based on the priority value. The elements from the queue are deleted. It is based on the priority value. The elements are from the queue are deleted. Clear? Operations on priority queues. Here also NQ, inserting an element into the priority queue. DQ, delete an element from the priority queue. And peak, this function is used to get the highest priority element in the queue without removing it from the queue. These three are the operations, functions in priority queues. The first one is NQ. This function is used to insert new data into the queue. DQ, this function removes the element with the highest priority from the queue. Next one, P or top. This function is used to get the highest priority element in the queue without removing it from the queue operations. Approach. The idea is to create a structure to store the value and priority of the element and then create an array of the structure to store elements. Below are the functionalities that are to be implemented. The first one is NQ. It is used to insert the element at the end of the queue. Second one is peak. Traverse across the priority queue and find the element with the highest priority and return it index. The next one is in the case of multiple elements with the same priority, find the elements with the highest value having the highest priority. Next one is DQ. Find the index with the highest priority using the P function. Let's call the position as IDX index, and then shift the position of all the elements after the position index one position to the left, decrease the size by 1. So then applications of priority queues. For scheduling algorithms, the CPU has to process certain tasks having priorities. The process of having higher priority gets executed first. In a time sharing computer system, the process of waiting for the CPU time gets loaded in the priority queue. A sorting priority queue is used to sort heaps. Then we will discuss later, okay, in detail applications of priority queues. These three are the applications of priority queues, all of you. So then see an example of priority queues. So a little bit confused. I will explain in your classroom. I will explain in your classroom using Blackboard in clear meeting. Okay. Just to see it only. So just confused. So I will explain in our classroom when you will come. Okay. Removing element. Which is the highest priority top topic 5.3. Then remove topic from the queue. So the queue is empty. Okay, ma, all of you. So then I will explain in your classroom. This is a little bit confused. Okay, I will explain in your classroom. Okay, ma. Thank you very much. Second unit is over. So next class I will start third unit. So linked list, the most important one. Linked list operations. Okay. Thank you.